It's Wednesday, and you know what that means. It's time for the latest live weekly event from Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown. This week we do have the Carnival Week, valid up until the 26th of February. Time to mask up, slip on the fanciest costume, and enter the spectacularly colourful races as we celebrate the Carnival Week, all for the Venetian reward. More importantly, let's look at the races. What do we have in store this week? First of all, the Chaiwan Parade, 3.9 mile 2-lap cleared night race, 100% asphalt. And this is the Abarth Alfa Romeo Lancia category, max RP of 600. Instantly, the first thing I think about here, are we going to get to use Celine cars? If not, we're probably going to use the Lancia Delta Integrale. Moving over to the second race for today, we do have the Aberdeen Festivities 2.9 mile foggy race, 100% asphalt this time, max production year of 2000, max RP of 600. Once again, can we use Celine cars? I initially thought here we're Italian, we might use the F40, but that RP is probably going to kill it. Lastly, we do have the Spring Festivities 2 mile sprint race, absolutely butchering the intro today guys. Overcast, 100% asphalt this time, Ferrari, Lamborghini, Maserati, max RP of 700. What I take from the overview here, it looks like every race is going to be a damp or wet race, but kicking it off, of course, in an Italian supercar. Now the thought process I've got going into this week, every race we're going to be looking at Italian cars, we're going to be looking at Ferraris, Lamborghinis, Maseratis, etc, etc. But the restrictions that we have in terms of RP and the restrictions we have on that certain race of age might not be the thought process we've got going in. I expected an Italian week to be focused around the big brands, which is of course the Ferraris and the Lamborghinis. Get a bit of screen lag there, that's bizarre. We had a good conversation about that down in Test Drive's Discord last night. A lot of people are now experiencing the same lag. Anyway, back to this weekly event as we totally miss our turn there. Feeling like Austin Powers stuck in a hallway right here. What an intro for today's video guys. Let's get over to the first race. We're going over to the Chaiwan Parade, like I mentioned, Alfa Romeo Lancia or Abarth, max RP of 600. And the focus here is going to be, can we use these Celine cars? Previously we've not been able to do so. Well, I'm glad to let you guys know we can use Celine editions in this weekly race. Now of course my choice is going to be that 4C. I love this car, I think it's fantastic. And it was going to be interesting bringing this one down to that 600 RP. How is it going to perform? How is it going to handle? What's it going to feel like? Now instantly off the back it doesn't turn as sharply and the body rolls amplified with us losing a lot of RP. We do still have the power there, but the gearbox is weakened. We don't have that gearbox tune like we had. The gearbox in this thing felt fantastic previously, but we can see it rocks back and forward changing gear. There's a bit of a flat period whilst changing gear. And I'm suffering with lag today. It never came through in the game, but it came through in the recording, guys. I can only apologise for that one. I actually played about with NVIDIA last night, trying to better balance the game dynamics, most specifically around that Highway to Heaven race. And it appears I've maybe broke the NVIDIA that I've got right here. A lot of lag, but it's coming through in the recording. It never came through in the race. I'm going to continue to work with that one. Back to the race itself in the 4C. It is quite a challenging race, this one. It's very tight, it's very difficult. We've got some very tricky corners and a shitload of street furniture to negotiate around. It maybe spoils the race a little bit, but it does give us a different dynamic. We've got lots of things we have to avoid whilst trying to be as quick as we possibly can around the circuit we've got here. This corner here, I feel like we could be a lot quicker through. I feel like we could carry a lot more speed. Maybe it's just the setup I've got for this car, but I've literally came in at 8:20 this morning to do this race, so it's only 20 minutes the leaderboards have actually been active as we outbreak ourselves into that left-hand 90 just there. So the leaderboards that aren't really present yet, I don't really know what's going to be a good time, what's not. This one right now doesn't feel like it's going to be a great time. We're slow through some of these hairpins and some of the chicanes. So it's going to be one of those weeks again, lots of room for improvement, much like we had last week with the TTRS. I think this week is another week that's going to be hyper competitive. Everybody's going to be returning back to that leaderboard to try and push themselves up, saving 1, 2, 3 seconds per race. I think it's going to be one of those weeks once again. But like we can see with the 4C right here, the dynamic balance that we've kind of got with this one, it doesn't feel like it's there like it was previously. It's a lot more leery, it's more lively, It's just not what I was hoping for to have with the 4C, so I'm probably going to come back here, play about with the tune, play about with the parts fitted, and get a more balanced car for this race specifically. I feel there's a hell of a lot of time that we're leaving onto the table here, coming around some of these corners specifically, into the braking zones. I just feel like we're slow coming into them, and there's a lot of room, a lot of time left on the table essentially there. But as it is right now, it's the early leaderboard. We're going to try and push up to the top of it, then obviously come back like we have been doing, and improve on what we've been doing. Back through the slow section here, however, back through all of that street furniture, missing a gear. It's one of those races, it's challenging, it's going to push us to be as clean as we can through some of those very tricky spots, as we'll come out with a big power slide around the left-hander, back into the fast section once again. And I tried to carry a bit more speed this time, and as we can see, carrying a little bit more speed that time, it did push us off the track and ultimately losing a lot of time there. So there's a lot of a balance to happen here, especially with the wet road surface. We're on the standard road tyres. We know we're compromising a lot of grip here, so we're probably going to try and make that back up with the power. In through the double left-handers, coming up into the right-hander, we want to pick the right braking zone. Into the left-hander, fantastic little chicane there. I feel like we can improve with that one a hell of a lot when we go back and improve in these lap times that we have got. Round the last left-hander, push this thing forward to the start finish line. Can we top out the early leaderboard? We're literally half an hour into the leaderboards as it does currently sit. Unsurprisingly, we do, not being boasting with that one at all. Move the camera out here, we actually manage a 3 minute and 38. So yeah, we do manage to top out the very early leaderboard here, but it's not really, a telling story. That time, of course, is going to improve, but what we can see is Alfa Romeo does appear to be the way forward with the Celine 4C, a couple of 8C competitions in there as well. But yeah, it does seem like the Alfa Romeo Celine Edition 4C will be the way to go for that race. I will be back to improve my times on that one. You can bet your bottom dollar onto it. Now, pushing over to the second race, absolutely struggling to get power down in the 488 Pista. Again, it's wet, it's Hong Kong, what else do we expect? We're going to push over to the second race today, and again, this is another one that's going to raise interest. Can we use the F40? I don't think we can. I think the RP restrictions are going to hurt us here. So we're coming over to the Aberdeen Festival, 2.9 mile sprint. It's foggy, it's night, likely it's going to be wet, 100% asphalt, and like we mentioned, 2000 max year build. I'm pleased to let you know, we can once again use the Celine Edition cars. I thought with it being an Italian week, it might open up the category for the Ferrari F40. We of course can see a Lamborghini Miura there, but we can't use the F40. My next go-to car is going to be the Celine. Wow, Veganosaurus has just stopped at the start-finish line. He's not even started the race. How interesting. My go-to car is going to be the Celine, like we can see, making two corners into one. Massive power slide in the Celine. You guys know already, I absolutely love this car. We know this part of the track already from the ranked races. Yeah, we've got a little shortcut there. Make use of that one. Cut off a couple of seconds of lap time as we push up the hill. I'm pretty sure you guys have all been around this part of the track countless numbers of time for the ranked racing. Yeah, we understand what it is we're coming into. A tiny little wall tap there. It's not wall riding, guys, it's a wall tap. Saving as much time as we can, not having to get onto the brakes there. Getting through the first section there pretty well so far. Coming into the left-hander, we do make a bit of a mess of that when we do turn in a little bit too early. So yeah, it's good. I like to leave some time on the table. When you come back and improve these times, it makes us feel a hell of a lot better. We can push up that leaderboard as it does start to progress. Pushing forward, however, fully committing, almost fully committing to the right-hander, backing off, coming around this left-hander, switch it back into a right-hander. Great little race we kind of got here. Round the left-hand 90 there, trying to stay to the left-hand side. I feel like we're going to be a little bit quicker coming around the left-hand. Yeah, it's quicker here. When we push up a little bit further into this left-hander, this inside is going to be quicker in my opinion. Unfortunately, losing the back end just a little bit, but we can see just how wet that road surface truly is. A little bit of a switchback using the shrubbery to slow us down. Cut over into a right-hander, be cautious with that one. There is a curb that will unsettle your car and put you up onto two wheels. Now comes the tricky part of this race. We've got a hairpin right, try to get round that one as cleanly as we possibly can, and this next corner is going to catch every single one of you out. Comment down below if this corner caught you out. I do come into it slow. You will miss that corner, most likely on your first attempt, guys. Let me know in the comment section how many times you did miss that little turn in. Coming over the crest of the hill up onto two wheels, we do manage to get it back down, just getting around the right-hander, pushing forward, a little cut here, take out our mandatory lamppost, but we've got a big sweeping right-hander. We want to try and carry the power, but the back end does just step out. I feel like that's going to be alright, carrying as much momentum as we can around the big sweeping right-hander. Then we come into the last little part of the track, downhill right-hander into a left-hander, probably going to push ourselves into a power slide as we cross the start finish line. Once again, can we push ourselves forward into the early leaderboard top? And once again, we do manage to do so with a 2 minute and 42. Quite high up in the leaderboard. It's early, it's going to be up there. 2 minute 24, Straw with a 2 minute 26, Mamma Mia with a 2 minute 29. I feel there's a hell of a lot of time left on the table with that leaderboard, guys. It is going to be another one we're going to come back to, but once again, we can see the Alpine A110 Celine Edition topping out the leaderboard. Interesting to see Ball & World in the 300 SL. Maybe that could become competitive, but I do think that the Celine A110 is going to be the way to go with that one. It felt good. I love using the car. It feels like with a better tune, just for full clarity, I was using the off-road tune with the standard road tyres just there. Perhaps with an on-road build for that one, yeah, we can maybe improve quite a lot, maybe even up towards 10 seconds. I do think there was a hell of a lot of time left on the leaderboard in the A110. Once again, back to struggling with the 488 Pista. Wet road surface, we know this thing won't get any traction. It is an absolute animal with the power that this one has got. But we're going to push forward to the third and final race for today, which I believe will be the most competitive race of the week. We obviously returned many times to the last weekly event, and I think this is going to be the same this week in this race, which is the Spring Festivities, a 2-mile sprint, overcast, 100% asphalt, Ferrari, Lamborghini, Maserati, max RP of 700. Once again, expecting a wet race here, but I think this is going to be the one that we all come back to try and improve on. I do start this race off, and I do come in with the Lamborghini Huracan Performante. For some reason, we're starting in third place, even though we've got max RP. Does become a little bit of an issue. We've got to negotiate around the two Maseratis ahead of us, but as we come downhill into turn one, we want to outbrake the first Maserati. We do manage to do so. Round the left-hander back onto the power early, do just push a little bit wide. Yeah, it's good to leave a bit of time on the table. We're going to go with that one. Round the left-hander, nice and tight to the wall. Right-hander, backing off just a little bit. We do get unsettled coming over that crest into the left-hand 90 just here. We don't want to outbrake ourselves, taking ourselves into the building. Yeah, again, I feel there's a little bit of time left there. We could probably clean that one up. I don't like the tune I've got on the Lamborghini right now for this race. It doesn't feel like we've got the optimal build here in terms of power output, acceleration, etc. But it gives us room for improvement. We can come back, improve on the build, and improve on the overall race time. Uphill into the left-hander again, guys. Do not overcommit to that one. Much like these little left-handers here, cutting too tightly, too quickly, you'll likely roll the car. Right-hand hairpin, we want to get around this nice and quickly. We don't make the best of attempts into the left-hander. We know where we are right here, downhill through all of the street furniture once again. We want to be cautious. Down to the bottom here. We don't want to outbrake ourselves because we know we're going to run over and ruin that corner. So be cautious coming down that little hill section. Now this little one here, a bus stop or a tram stop right in the middle of the road, guys. Don't take that corner too tight. Once again, you will lose a hell of a lot of your lap time. Round the last tram stop, big left hander right here, cutting across the track. We're all good. Feels like we carried enough time there, but once again, it just feels like we've left a hell of a lot of time on the table here, and I like that. I like to come back and improve on the times that I have got. Round the right hander, again, I feel like I was a little bit slow there. It's all good. We're going to come back round the last couple of left-handers where there's a huge track cut here. Avoid the lamppost, they will stop you dead in your tracks, but a good cut to round out the lap there, where we do of course manage to push ourselves up on the early leaderboard. Now unfortunately we're not top of the leaderboard. Ball & World already rinsing it with a 1 minute 40 in the Lamborghini Huracan, Straw with a 1 minute 46, myself with a 1 minute 47, but we can see that this leaderboard is absolutely dominated by the Lamborghini Huracan, whether it's the Performante or the Fluoro Capsule. The Lamborghini is likely going to be the way to go. But rounding out 100 points for this week, so just 10 race wins, guys, nice and simple for that amazing reward. The Venetian outfit. I'm not a biggest fan of these rewards. It's not why I come here. I come here because I feel that this is the heart and soul of Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown. I absolutely love the weekly events. I love this weekly event. Perhaps we may have had a dry race in there. maybe it would have made it a little bit better, but overall I think we've got a fantastic selection of races, fantastic selection of cars we can use, and I for one am very happy once again with another live weekly event. Be sure I will be back to improve on the times set, improve on the tunes, and improve on the way those cars are built. I will be posting that video again very soon, guys. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. Please smash the like button, subscribe, and tap on the bell. Help me grow this channel as quickly as possible. And stay tuned for more updates on Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown.